This tutorial is going to talk about section 4.4, which has this acronym CPCTC, which stands for congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So we see CPCTC. So one thing that we really have to make sure that we understand, because we can identify congruent triangles now by side, side angle, side, etc., etc. But we really need to make sure that we understand what corresponding parts really mean. So let's take a look at a couple triangles. So here we have triangle ABC and triangle DEF. And let's first of all make sure that we can determine that these triangles are congruent. And sure enough, they are. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. And why do you think this is? Take a guess. And you should have had side angle side. So just by what this picture shows me, the segment here, AB, has one tick mark, and so does DE. Well, these are called corresponding parts, and more specifically corresponding sides, because segment AB is acting like side DE in that triangle. So I know that these are congruent because it's a given. So what do you think the corresponding part to angle A would be? And angle A is going to correspond to angle D. Another way of looking at this is if I were to pick up triangle ABC off of my paper and place it right on top of this other triangle, what side would be acting or mimicking the other? Okay, so let's do AC, this side right here. So AC is congruent to which corresponding side? And that would be DF. So these are all the parts that are given to me though. What about the parts that aren't? Can we say that they're congruent as well? And the answer is yes, because I already know that these two triangles are congruent by side angle side. So because I have congruent triangles, I can now go into more depth and say that BC is congruent to side EF. And my reason here is no longer because it's given. My reason is because of CPCTC. Because corresponding parts, in this case BC and EF, of congruent triangles, triangle ABC and triangle DEF, are congruent, which I just stated right here. So that's what this acronym is trying to get you to do. After you prove that your triangles are congruent, then you can say that all of the corresponding parts are congruent as well. So let's try to get the corresponding parts of the rest of the angles. So here we have angle B and angle, not A, what am I doing? Angle B is congruent to angle E because that's its corresponding angle. And the reason why they're congruent is also CPCTC. And then the last angle is angle C, which is congruent to angle F. And once again, this is our reason. So when we get to this kind of stuff with our proofs, particularly our next proof project, you're going to see this as being your reason for a lot of the ending statements. So this concludes this tutorial.